My wife and I have been together for 13 years. 10 years married and almost 11. 10 years married, almost 11. All right. Whenever we argue, this says wife thinks my body is aggressive. What? Wife thinks my body is aggressive? I don't even know what. Anyways, hello, Couples Bill. My wife and I have been together for 13 years, 10 years married, almost 11. Whenever we argue, she accuses me of yelling, which I'm not. I sometimes proceed to show her the difference between the way I'm talking and yelling. She then changes to say that I'm not yelling, but I'm sounding aggressive. I don't know what that means, and I've asked her, what does she mean? She's talking about your tone. She says because I have a deep voice and a big guy, 6'3", 260, that I come across as aggressive. This pisses me off because I cannot control my size. To me, she's saying if I was a smaller guy with the same voice, I would not sound aggressive. I've gone so far as to argue my point with a gay voice to sound less aggressive. You did that? He goes, this pisses her off even more. I've walked away so I don't get pulled into any arguments. This pisses her off even more. I don't know what to do. How do I control something I have no control of? I feel like she just wants someone to argue with, and I'm forced to take the bait. That's what I feel. She just wants to argue. Then I'm made to feel guilty for my size and voice by being labeled aggressive. How do I, A, not make my large football player-sized body not seem aggressive during an argument, and B, walk away from the argument without pissing her off even more? Thanks, and go fuck yourself while dreaming of the 2010-2011 Cup run. Oh, that's what you meant by cupless. Yeah, dude, this is what's going on. She is manipulating the living shit out of you to win arguments. All right? So what you have to do in an argument is you have to not raise your voice. This is what if you want to win with the woman. You have to not raise your voice. You have to say what they did and how it made you feel. And then you have to listen to them, and then they're done yapping, okay, if they tried to worm their way out of it, and you know they're trying to worm their way out of it, you can't accuse them of it. You have to sit there and say, like, okay, I heard what you say. I don't understand how that pertains to what it is that I'm saying. And you just stay there. And eventually, if you're with a fucking adult, they're going to apologize. All right? You shouldn't be yelling anyways. I'm trying to stop doing it. Was doing so great, and I don't know. The stress of being on the road, and I can't go to therapy now. I've kind of I've gone back a little bit. But I was able to see that, and now I'm kind of focusing back on not yelling. But I think the fact that you have the balls to have done the gay voice to your wife shows me that you're not afraid of her, and she doesn't have your balls in the purse. So I would just, I would talk to her about this while you're not in an argument. I would just sit her down and say, we need to talk. She'd be like, okay. All right? And then you sit down and just say, listen, when you're in a relationship, you're going to have disagreements. Okay? The way I air my disagreements doesn't seem to be working for you. So I need you to tell me the proper way that so then you get her to commit. If I sit down and not raise my voice, will I then be heard and not be criticized? Right? So then just play by her fucking rules. And she'll think that she's winning, but then what she's done is she's eliminated her ability to avoid what it is that you're saying and just talk about, the way you gestured with your arm, how low your voice or high your voice was, and that takes all of that off the table, and now you just have to deal with the point that you're trying to make. And I would give that a try, and hopefully that works. And if it doesn't, and she still just finds a million things to bitch about, then I would consider moving on. Because, who wants to be in a relationship with someone who's not an adult? And you're just signing up to be bitched at 24/7 for the rest of your fucking life. And honestly, who the fuck wants that? Nobody wants that. Okay? And if you sit down with her and you have this conversation, and then the next time you guys argue, if you follow by what she's saying would not be aggressive and all of that, and she still has a problem with it, then you advance the conversation to saying, like, listen, this is not adult behavior. Okay? I'm not signing up. I don't want to, if this is the way you're going to be every time we have a disagreement, that no matter what I'm doing, it's not going to be about what I'm saying, it's going to be about the way that I presented it, then I'm never going to be heard in this relationship, and that's not what I'm looking for. So what do you want to do? So you're saying you want to break up with me? I'm saying if you don't start acting like an adult, I am going to break up with you. I'm going to move on. This is going to get old. Okay? I know I'm not right 100% of the time, but I know a good 30%, 35% on a good month, I am right. And I'm just not seeing, the data is not showing that the results here. All right? I would go that route. All right, that's it for the questions. Now I'm waiting for the advertising.